In this video, I am going to explain exactly why we as Christians need to be prepared for Jesus to return in 2021. Now, depending on where you come from theologically or what traditions you've been raised with, you may not like this video because I'm going to say things that are going to disagree with, I'd say, both extremes when it comes to the spectrum of Jesus returning. On the one hand, you have the people who say, oh, Jesus is going to return. He's going to return like tomorrow. He's just around the corner. He's definitely going to get here in 2021. Then you have the people who are like, no, I don't think Jesus is going to return for like 10,000 years. We're going to go on and on like this, and eventually at the end of a very long period of time, then Jesus will return. Then you have the full preterist position that says that Jesus has already returned, and we don't have anything to look forward to. So all these predictions about Jesus returning when or if, these are all mistaken. Now, I won't be addressing the full preterist position, but when it comes to the first two, I would say that the truth probably lies somewhere in between. We as Christians need to be prepared for the possibility that Jesus could return tomorrow, or return sometime during this year. And in this video, I want to explain exactly what we should do to prepare for Jesus to return in 2021. Now, whether or not he does return in 2021, or 2031, or 3031, we need to be ready for him to return tomorrow. Jesus in Matthew 25 gives us a bunch of parables that explain what is going to happen. He tells us that he is going to go away for a while, and then he is going to be delayed. And some of the servants are going to say, I guess the master is never actually going to come back. I guess we can eat and drink and be merry and go on and be sinful and slothful, and there'll be no consequence because he's never coming back. So this is something that we want to avoid as Christians, because at the end of each of these parables, you see that the individuals who were not ready, it says that he came like a thief in the night. He came silently and quickly and at an hour that no one expected it. We need to be ready for Jesus to return at any moment, at an hour that we do not expect, and that could be tomorrow. So let me ask you this. If Jesus were to return tomorrow, would he find you ready, or would he find you sleeping? Now, you may be thinking, I don't know. What does it even mean to be ready? What does it mean to be ready for Jesus to return? Is there anything special we need to be doing when it comes to the latter times, when it comes to the times right before the end? Well, I would say no, we shouldn't be doing anything special, in the sense that all of the good things that we should be doing when we're ready for Jesus to return, we should always be doing them. It's like brushing your teeth. You don't just brush your teeth right before you go to the dentist, you brush your teeth every single day, multiple times a day. That is how you take care of your teeth, and by maintaining readiness in a spiritual sense, we will always be growing spiritually and will cease to decay. Now let's say to the extreme cynics in this metaphorical room that is a YouTube video, to those of you who are watching who say, well, Jesus, he's never coming back. He won't come back for another 10,000 years. So you might say he will come back, but just definitely not within our lifetimes. I would say don't bet on that, just as I would say that to the person who thinks he's coming tomorrow. Don't bet on that either. In fact, the truth is, even if he doesn't come back for another 10,000 years, tomorrow you could walk out onto the street and get hit by a bus. Next week, you could get a brain aneurysm that will kill you just like that. You never know when your time on this earth is at an end. So we must always be ready. Always live this day as if it were your last. Now, does that mean go and do all these extravagant things because, oh, I have only one more day left, therefore I better party and drink and smoke and do all the things that I've always wanted to do? No, I think that the truth is we should live every single day in such a fulfilling, meaningful way that we are always ready to die. I believe it was Wesley who was once asked, if you knew that Jesus would return tomorrow, what would you do? And this is a paraphrase, but he said, well, I would get up and go preach my normal sermon, and then I would go and grab something to eat, and then I would pray and read the scriptures, and then I'd go out and preach my second sermon for the day, and then I would go home and make myself some dinner. And basically his point was that if he knew Jesus would return tomorrow, he would do exactly the same things that he's done every single other day. It's just another day. That is how we need to be as Christians. What if we lived every single day in such a meaningful way that if you knew that Jesus would return tomorrow, you wouldn't change a thing? That is how we need to live as Christians. We need to be prepared for him to return tomorrow and to embrace Christ with open arms. So let us wait for Christ's return with utter joy and excitement and anticipation, without having to predict exactly when he's going to return, because none of us are going to figure that out. Let us just sit back in awe of who Jesus is and imagine how amazing it'll be when he returns. Whether we get the privilege of experiencing it for ourselves in this lifetime or not, that is up to God. But what is up to us is how we choose to prepare ourselves for that moment. So when he returns, is he going to find you ready, or is he going to find you drunk and sleeping on the job? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like videos like this on theology and apologetics, then definitely hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, farewell.